ñu ngi masawu parents yi ñu ngi wax seen nahar, and I think it's really important for us artists to actually sing about things that are really affecting us as a society, like bun xaar be dara mu dal ñu dañu soga juk, you know, because this is Gambia, this is where we live, you know. Kenn su amé metit dafa melni ñu ñëpp am metit, you know. So I mean we need to hold our leaders to account, because do mëna ñëw rek and you know do whatever you feel like doing nga expect ne ken du la wax dara. I was equally disappointed when we were at Westfield, when I saw the police officers came in and you know actually order us to disperse in 5 minutes. I was like, okay, what is going on, you know, because nekun fa pull inside like violence or anything. We were there to seek justice for the 66 plus kids, you know. So I mean, man, I'm just I don't know how to explain it right now, but mange maso parents yep. And as an artist, I will continue using my voice to seek for justice, you know, accountability. Yeah, thank you.
Jerejef Aublin, I think that's a clear manifestation there. The state knows and understands the psychic of Gambians. Ne, okay, na def luma ne, ken muni si dara, because I'm going to use another section of the state. Those are those in uniform to go against the others. So bayama def luma ne, bayama def corruption, bayama def yahoo and so on, because ninyi suñ mere what is going to follow suit is and they can do whatever because they are going to be giving orders. These are things that we need to stop. And those in uniform should understand that they are equally Gambians and they are equally parents. It can be their kid. What if they send Domla? Are they going to be silent about it? So these are things that we need to factor in. And now we will allow Uncle Madi to give a statement. Yeah? Yes, but I will also want you also in your statement to add on the Mandinka version. Also. Yes. Like you have a lot of people. I wanted Nene also to speak in...
Okay, thank you everyone. Yeah, my name is Madi, an independent citizen down here. Okay, yes, I can say one or two things in Mandinka as well. Yes, so so for me, what I want to say, I think is partly mentioned in our statement, that these 66 plus children we're talking about, you know, reflects a deep and a very wide systemic failure in this country, not just today, but in the years and decades that we've been in this country. For children, for youth, for healthcare, for education, every sector, there is consistently gross failure in service delivery, in the protection of rights, in ensuring that quality services are provided to Gambian people. And this is why we are having this situation, and for which I think every citizen should think deeper and far beyond the 66 plus children, to realize that this is going to happen tomorrow. It's going to happen next week. It's going to happen next year. So long as the system, as it is, operates in this country, there is a system that lacks accountability, a system that lacks efficiency because it lacks accountability and transparency, a system where there is no leadership, and where all state institutions, from the executive level, from the legislature, from the judiciary, are failing in their responsibility to ensure that rights are protected, services are delivered, quality services. And unless we address this, are aware of this and address it, I think we will continue to live a life of uncertainty, of misery, of pain. All right. 66 children has died. But until now, maternal mortality is high. Until now, preventable deaths are in this country. The minister said our health system is the best in the region. But these samples, they took them to Senegal, to Ghana. If your health system is the best, why are you taking them to Senegal? All right? The Bob case rape trial going on, the DNA test, they took it to Ghana. HIV, COVID, before, everything you take it somewhere, otherwise somebody comes to help you. And you said your health system is the best. All right? And we have to respond to that. And why is that? It is because there is poor leadership and corruption. Because at the end of the day, how much does that equipment cost? Exactly. A dialysis at Edward Francis Moore Teaching Hospital, an MRI machine, a testing kit at food security. When the sniper thing happened, did they not take the samples to Senegal or Ghana or somewhere else? The equipment that food security needs, how much does it cost? It doesn't cost $1 million. But look at the vehicle the president is driving. Look at the vehicle ministers are driving, permanent secretaries, directors, managing directors, so on and so forth. Vehicles that cost nothing less than $3 million. But you can sit before us as a public official, tell us we don't have capacity, we don't have resources. I mean, even America is building its capacity today. America, of all places, everything is the most powerful country. They are building capacity. So capacity is always built. But there's capacity here to prevent this. And just to end this, to just show you that negligence and corruption we are talking about, we have a Ministry of Health. Under its body, purview, we have statutory bodies mandated to guide, to watch over the delivery of health services and health products to make sure we have good health care. And that is the Medicines Control Agency and the Pharmacy Council. Now, if you go to the 2014 Medicine Controls Agency Act, the guidelines of the Medicines Control Act says on importation alone of medicines that only importers who are licensed by the agency are permitted to import medicines and related products. For requirements as an importer, refer to MCA guideline for licensing as importer of medicines and related products. Who imported those syrup here? They should have been registered with MCA. So MCA cannot tell us that we don't know where these syrups came from. It went for it to say government hospitals, government health facilities, similar health-related institutions that provide healthcare services are authorized to import medicines and related products for use in patients undergoing treatment in these facilities. But it says non-governmental organizations, private clinics or hospitals, including veterinary clinics or hospitals, that provide healthcare services may be permitted by the agency to import reasonable quantities for use only in patients under their care in their facilities and only if the products are not locally available. So the law is there. The instruments are there. What capacity are you talking about? That's an agency that is mandated to do that. It said registered medical doctors, dentists, and veterinary surgeons may be permitted to import reasonable quantities on special request to the agency for use only by patients under their care. So these children, which health facilities they go to? Those children are under the care of those health facilities. And those health facilities are supposed to have obtained permission from the agency to import these syrups. So the Medicines Control Agency, they know. Yet they can give us a press release to say 2 importers are suspended or what importer is suspended. You cannot name us that importer. But if you go further, it says guideline for registration of medicines. That guideline is meant to create procedures for registrations of medicines in the Gambia for variations of registered medicines or for renewals of registrations. And it says the registration, variation, and renewal of registration of medicines should be approved by the agency before importation into the country, except of those used as samples for the purpose of this application. So no medicine can enter this country without the knowledge of the Gambia government. So when we get to this point, the minister should take responsibility. The head of MCA should take responsibility. The board of MCA should take responsibility. The council of the Pharmacy Council should take responsibility to say, we failed. We let our guard down. This is why these things pass through. And the Pharmacy Council, there's a whole act, Gambia Pharmacy Council Act 2014. And it says their purpose is the promotion and the protection of health and safety of the general public through safeguarding, maintaining, and enforcing the highest standards in the practice of pharmacy and for connected matters. So the laws are there, the instruments are there. So how can we have this come here? MCA, if you need an equipment, buy that equipment. I'm sure the vehicle the executive director of MCA drives is more expensive than that equipment. So you cannot tell us we don't have resources, we don't have capacity. And this is why I'm saying we have a perennial systemic failure in this country. And the only solution lies with we the citizens. That ultimately we are the ones dying. It is our children dying. I mean, you know, we are the ones who go to Edward Francis Moore Teaching Hospital and get bad treatment and have to suffer with the pain at home. In my family, I have, you know, nephews, nieces, grandsons who I know we had to take them to Senegal. I mean, how can we go on like that as a country? But meantime, those people have the means to easily travel out to go and get the highest quality of treatment. Yet the minister has the audacity to tell us Gambia has the best health system in the region. Which region are you talking about? You have the best health system, you are sending samples to Senegal. You are sending samples to Ghana. Are those not in the region? So, fellow citizens, you know, I think the speakers have made the point. For me, it is justice and accountability. Those responsible, the guardians, you know, as Lamin said, government is the primary duty bearer. They have a duty to protect. They failed. We need investigation to see which institution, which official failed in his or her duty, and we prosecute them. That these families, 66, they need compensation. Government needs to compensate each and every family for the negligence that led to the loss of their children. And the civil society, as citizens, we need to raise the necessary resources to see how do we support each of these family members to seek justice in the courts. All right? And of course, to continue the advocacy at the level of the executive, at the level of the legislature, that they have a duty to ensure accountability. It is not possible we have an executive and a legislature in a country, yet abuse takes place without justice. That's impunity. Our lawmakers need to stand up to make sure that they address, they check the executive and all these institutions to make sure they perform according to the law. And the law is here. Medicines Control Act, Pharmacy Council Act, it is there. So, mbadi un coming wrong, mbenyi membe fokan. Dani mfano mbalo be kandila ko Omar ya fanyaming. Ya, mbenyi sio mento teng ka nan nuclear na suno kaitandi nyim dinding tang woroning menta metawoti. Mela lon koy fata ko ku kante na manke ye borle ta mboro mela lon ko manke bor betet. O boro manya na duna Gambia jam. WHO yaitani le ko boro an manta dunya dawdan din Gambia kola. An amalo warta a nuclear warta na Minister of Health amansila amamalu amam personal kafo ko aka WHO abi wole jale kan ko liya ko lankene ma nyame dunya kono. Manaka na WHO ta lankene ma. Manaka na WHO ta lankene ma la kume alonko abe haramadun tinyak. Ite ka mone batum janni WHO ba lankene ma. Atella tinyaro al balang alla naso mi nyimbe sabu al mo ko kacha foyte ko kata wolle jale ni WHO man nyim fo bin delta sila jam an hanin sign ngola ko dinding tang boroning fo kononto but dinding jolle be sasari mamello dinding jolle fadila sol ko foye bade mamello won mel yalon ko ni nyin sasabe lari laran to sign fo be kendela le bang ñing bunda me ñing pharmacie o manufacturer même India mele ñin dara ni kawlong ko i manke mo sobelti o man kolea ni sidi la computer ya Google drone isaje ko clearly wo company from India found India la basa kundan diun ye bawo company tol banku dole ye o company ya banle ite ka sinyati de Gambia jay kita o company sifa boro mealongo nadunda moro jato kono ake jarala o ay fa ite mo ko kisikisi yalla kenema ya ino sabatindi itata yo iskanang yo di namola hanin sa kasi buka fu mo le ko nga importa killing suspend le nga importa do keteni tenite ide to fala mole mo nyanta wala na so da ngo jamfa wala ngal ko nyin company nyile nyin drop kurung nati na jang nga jamfela bar bi nde mo tolom bi nde sa sala nga da pharmacie do nga ta boro sanje but pharmacie do fo mole jumhala woti because hanama dum niyo yoleta mo tan woro womu sata wolet womu massacre mo tan woro fata dam that's a massacre you know so nyimbe tan nata badi la belari nyame wolom ko hanin sa ndel gambe di na gambe di ya ma fonka ha hanin sa fomma fahamle banko gambe banko di ya ma faham munam so manna banko di ya manna banko kanta wala dandi nga mol mel tombon pour ye kenam binda nolti ye dogo ke molye nkasi ika tilimbalia ni balafiru samba molkan na nafulo ka pisir pasar me alon ko niyo ika tawonya kabri independent nyine beke kan gambe jang an gambe di nyanda si ye fam bunya ye fallon ye fan kanta ye balawol ko president mun nam binda nolati vice president mun nam binda nolati minister mun nam binda nolati ndeleke jo ndeleke domorindi ndeleke fete fata ndeleke larandi la ndeleke jar kenendi so munam binda nollet yaji fo banku diwle yo faham yelo ko nte sonna moye tilimbali akenna manke faloti pour yena ye 5 ans e ben do kundila fo nga fa ba nyine be kering gambe since independent yaji ñing manke drone ñin dindiwul mel fata bari al nga dindiwul drone ni nga dindiwul la kool jibe 2004 dinding tan konontama tan nani man fajang nvan la sojarol nga melta nga uniform dila nga joran dila mejola yena dindimra ye bung ye fa sanji mo ni fobi mbedi kilomendo jumale konti boda ko na masakunda gambe masakunda is a criminal ibe gambe dim fakan kabri independent be gambe diul fakan e be gambe diul fo hari andi kan e be gambe diul ke kan you know I mean tilimbali kan just like that kabri independent wala be kiring 2000 akita fo bi wodi niw dol bije menyalon ko nim imam fanu dol bije to mi wol kata press wol sita ka president ka deputy ka managing director ka big CEO di somewhere dol bije wol be sirin siran kono kabri wado fo bi e be siri o siran kono ime fanna fano gambe dingul be siring wo tilimbali be lari mel fano tilimbali ke ngana ngol dundi na de ko bundal to kotoke nga plasol dila nga makamo dila I mean fondel gambe dingul bu kam mira bang hani nyin 2017 today penny appeal journalist wali ay tandi ko bunda do be ga fa penny appeal e ka dinunta ko bayoli tel kawlete kawle makoy itata ye tilimbali arangena mata senada fa senada set masakunda be siri yo company wo organisation yebula wonya anu nga minister so memmarta dindewul la nga minister so memmarta banko kono kanta ko la minister of interior nga IGP soto nga attorney general soto ni lom bundalti mo nan ko placeol melnyantan kantana bari yen mbarama wol be siri nyaabale mason kan mo mul kanta bilal boarding school dindi konondo manata je fobe ifat ah Senegal jang musundi man fa lopitano to Macky Sall minister of health abay amanya nya saba man fenge fa ya bay sinya kili so gambela ko ani ko warta bak but ning abentel lebulu nin lafta na balo sa kanta nyinya ndello nin lafta ngatari mantoro kono nin doya anin nyin ni ko yakono butun sitari wonya dron nga molta ngetomon nga sembodila nga tari noma ko sajio ha be tilimbala molla be mol doyala be mol dorola ko la fana nyamen nsi tar ko nyadro ala baraka ba
but before we have Uncle Sirif, that the mic is yours. Then we move to the question and answers. Yeah, Uncle Sirif is from the Victim Center, so you're welcome.
Abaraka, thank you. kal be kontom kal nimbara bengo benta nyaata nyaaja mbe benta jam bari yale akaf bari yani banko kano wole mbesi jambi mbe banko dingo banko mo be konton na sangola akita banko be sunoti akita nya jakal ku bafanati ka atu yeman sakunda tombon ya tambindi pour kamara banko la tamandirol banko la tamandiro na jata kende abundala banko la tamando na tanko bundala banko la tamando na baluo kenyala bari gambia be kula kono be min keta jakale ku bati akata banko dingo be suno fanati akata be jikla tewati kaman sa kuna tambindi kayaja me bondi jam banko kamiya lon ko be jam sanji wonni fula maral jaw kono anin tilimbali a maralo kono ka jiko soto ka fuka arama baro nati ka londi banko nyaato kam bondi o maral jaw kono kam bondi o kolya kono kam bondi o deto kono bari system o man falin hani biyata system kilingole bije mol mi je banko bulo maral jaw kono arama baro ya ko a munta wala kam bi ke tombon ke nati ke banko ke mara banko place bal bela banko kam bira député bungo kono fa government institutional kono fa foreign embassy kono ito lebe maral nga bela woto fallindiru jikita minna te sotonola fo nga ñuñ ko ñaako no juube nga toña fo ñoy ni maslaha ko nga bondije badi ya ko nga bondije teri kafo nga janjang nga ñaatilin banko doku wala o dorne se banko sama ñaato dindingol la ko abala fa warta o kamala victim center na programme and documentation department many victim on la family ba be document la on the human right violations coming nga Yaya Jammeh victims will document yami they are victims of Yaya Jammeh's atrocities. These are victims of Adama Barrow's atrocities. They be document la wona anin fana nin civil society bebe kafulanga ke kilinti kafu kilimbu ka kuta mandire fonga dete nyonka nga kafu nyonka wole kan sembentu yandi akana kam fana don kafu ko be karari aklale all the time masa kuna tilimbali yake mun it is about time nga action tasai kama sakunda samba loi nya tilingo pharmacy me nin pharmaceutical company me nin borole da India ka samba at the highest court of the world international court of justice katonya sabatindi anyonka na ke Gambia kotake ni waman soto jam fo dunya be tumunna ntolbe talari aklere dorong na fatala kuma kensen fo dorong press conference organize kensen aninka placaro mutakatalo silo kan media yafo lokun kilin lokun fly bantak in 2 weeks time itata social media ning diningol la ko be erase la letaje la kotake Gambia la attitude be wolati ninko new Gambia we should demand for the rebirth of new Gambian kutola nyanta balu la kotake ngana attitude falling mindset nga falling nga direct towards national development towards national orientation for patriotism banko be mara if banko la nafulol katu nga fail leadership lesson. This country lacks leadership. This country is in a serious leadership crisis and it lacks direction. Oto banko dingo nyanta ownership letala. Nyanta ownership letala banko la mara nyar. Ntole kama sakewol tolo. Comme Maria fo nyami lambindano lam. President of the State House ntole kajo ala danyi ngala dimba ala danyi ngala. Minister the same thing, managing director the same thing. Ye momin tolo ya sindi siranko ikana sila wala koteke kotonya fwe umukunta yalati ni manke civil society la kumbotira anila wasidati de banku dingo bela jakal kolam banku dingo bela wasidalam ntol be diamu kam banko be kangol oto banku dingo bese kafuna fango fembe ni press conference wala may kan iseni kelo ke fango la kelote bi abe dola bungo kono sama sitala dimbaya sila dimbayama woto nga attitude min bento yaaja mala jamano kan ngaw attitude fali ka fuka mamma na hajiti je ngaw attitude fali na ye ma amema sama sedula bun kono de woto nga lo nga kafu nyonna nga deto nyonna nganin chahan ko bayna system ko kilimbaliya ni pasaro ni corruption mi be banko kan asembo warta anyanta dannale president ko $35 million ita kata United Nations General Assembly ka delegation ota min sada mo tannaniti what is nonsense what delegation o min betata ye mune contribute ye mune foje ini mune natana banko kan president wala address ni United Nations General Assembly la holo kono jibe min siata mi momin be siringe amanta mi mo kemela momi yokungo suta befindide tatela hajol empty seat sola wolle address katu yaro imam African leader soli imam bunya katu leader soli imam imela mol horoba imela mol bunya utombe min folale ko ni minketa banko ka is gross human rights violations family be dawra banko kan victim center invite isina na program and documentation department telephone number mbadi la jang 990 36333 Neo call be direction of the Lesina Victim Center near document. Ning civil society be fana be kachalale akana dan jambila nga tax force londi ripun nga consultation o ke nim Gambia Bar Association banku din kendol kaji be legal action tala nyami nim man sakunda ma watajo bain tol sa watajo bain fangoy annim bara la baraka. Thank you.
Baraka mbake Uncle Sere ngamira kuma kama seneyada. It's clear that comme lum ko waxe ci kalama sosé képp ko xamné victime la victime sentang fa pour gis né sa ak sa yelef nga am ko su dé né victime nga mun nga aga ci ñom joxé na téléphone number bi nga call téléphone number bi parce que li mënuñ ko bayé ni nañ dem ci kanami loi gis né ñepp luñ wara am ñu am ko té naka lañ ko mëna défé moy ñun ñepp suñ boké néka béna ñu gisé suñ bopane Gambian lañ ñu commencé di dajté té duñ MC yoon yi duñ MC press conference waye dañoo aga ci court ci nga gis né ñu mëna am justice buñ am légui from here we will have to open the floor for questions. Then the team will be here to answer, to respond to your questions. Okay, yes. Okay. So we take in 5 questions, or then we answer them?
Mm-hmm. Do you want to take questions and answer directly, or you want to take all the questions?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, we can answer as they come.
Okay.
It's better, if not, the tendency of forgetting.
Okay, I'm just trying to write it down, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking take 3 or 4, then we respond to those ones, then take another batch of questions.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I mean, you are
so
the
yes, this is going to take you back a little. What is the name of this team that is fighting for this process, the justice for the 66 victims?
Okay. Any other? Or we respond to those 2 from the panel?
Uncle Madi, I think, will come under what next. The name for this campaign is not a team. This is a campaign for and by the Gambian people. And the name for the campaign is Justice for 66 Plus campaign. That is the name for the campaign. And Uncle Madi will come under what next the team will be engaged on to see that justice is served.
Yeah, in addition, we can say it's more.
Yeah, it's a cross-section of civil society.
Yeah. Coalitions with NGOs, but then Tango is missing. That's going to be my next question. Did Tango boycott this session, or they are invited?
Yeah, so no, nobody has boycotted this, and no specific invitation went to any organization. So it's a spontaneous movement that arose in the wake of this crisis. So, you know, as everyone was responding, reacting on social media, a few of us felt to organize and hold a vigil immediately on Friday. And so, so it is still in organization mode, like in formation mode, but it's not intended to be an organization or institution, but it's a platform. So if you're an individual farmer, come. If you're a taxi driver, it's open to you. If you're in the diaspora, if you're an organization, if you're a journalist, you know, any human being, any citizen who is hungry for justice, who wants justice and accountability, come on board, bring your idea, and we mobilize and harness. So we are at CPA today because we just last night the idea that, you know, given the president's statement, given the minister's press conference, that there needs to be a response. Because at the end of the day, we cannot sit here, our servants who fail in their duty now come, create a narrative to exonerate themselves, and then leave us in limbo. That would be grossly irresponsible on our part. And so we are not going to allow President Adama Barrow or Minister of Health Amadou Sane, Samate, or any other person, public official, to control the narrative, to push down our throat their idea. No, because we know. We also know. We know their terms of reference. We know the laws in this country. We know the institutions in this country. So we know what they are supposed to do and what they fail to do. But we cannot let them come and control the narrative and then we say, okay, let us let them be. I think for me, that era has to end. So it is us, we the people, controlling the narrative. And I think since Friday, we, the Gambian people, on social media, on the street, at home, I think we are controlling the narrative. That is why you are seeing all these, you know, hush-hush decisions and actions from the State House, from the IGP, from everywhere, because they are responding to the pressure that is coming. So I tell Gambians, increase the volume, increase the pressure. So this is it.
Thank you. So on the way forward.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead. No, I mean, in terms of the way forward, Lamin talked about what needs to happen. Sharif talks about what needs to happen. We are talking to parents because 66 plus kids, where are their faces? They are just a number. They have faces. They have name and surname. They have mother and father. They are from a home, from a kunda, from a village, from a town. So we have to respect them and know their names and surnames and their parents, and how do we mobilize them to help them organize themselves. They, as we said in the statement, they are not going to be backbenchers. They should be leaders in this fight, because it is their fight too, and more than any one of us, because they lost someone directly. So we are trying to organize them. We want to appeal to the lawyers of the Gambia. How do we get there so that the necessary processes are taken? And as Sharif has indicated, the victim center is great. We have a victim center. And so long as victimhood is not ending in this country, victim center is relevant. And victims don't happen only under one regime. So we'll document them. That 66 people, young children for that matter, died at one time. I don't think we've ever registered that in the history of the Gambia. We know Yajam at one point killed 56 people, the West Africans. And we know the total number of deaths. But such negligence by state institutions is unprecedented. And we have to record that, we have to document that. So these are the next steps. And we hope you, the journalists, are not just going to report the press conference, the press release of the Minister of Health and the government, but investigate. Yes, we expect journalists to do deep investigative reporting to expose the negligence and the corruption that is underneath all of these things. Thank you.
Thank you so much for those answers. And as they rightly said, it is a movement. So being a movement means it does not have that organizational base. We are all affected, we are all concerned because we are binded by the country, that is the Gambia. So based on that, irrespective of your walk of life or background, you are part of this advocacy. You see as a need, come on board because we are Gambians. Thank you.
Can I just add to that? It's a very important question to ask who are organizing this. What's the name? Like they rightly said, it's not owned by anybody. It's not any organization. These are concerned, patriotic citizens who feel the need that we cannot continue to sit and watch issues happen in this country. Quite often something happens, everybody tries to watch. They har kan moy njëkk a jóg. And suk nit ki jógee nga xool feesam bi nene la I'm not going to say anything. Degen la duma wax dara duma bokka. Omar la duma bokka. We have gone past that stage. This is lives lost. Those 66 lovely, beautiful souls, we don't know what they could have been in society later on when they grow up. And I'm sure those 66, they come from different walks of lives. They belong in different communities. They come from different tribes. They come from different political parties or affiliation. So it's a combination. It's not one person's own or one group or one sector. It's a national issue. Thus, we need a collective effort. And we are calling on the women, this is our thing. We need to lead. Ñun ñoo dee jur, ñun ñoo yóbbu lopitaan, ñun ñoo dee sonna, ñun ñoo am métit gi. Buñ des gannaaw nañ leen jóg li nga xam ne suñ axal ak suñ yelleef la ñu jox ñu ko bem doy te buñ nangu kenn ku ñu jaay doole kenn ku ñu tuutil buñ ko nangu nañ leen jóg. Buñ ko defut bii yoon nag ku nekk nag ngoyoo ngoy booy sa doom parce que fu mu nekk nii fo naa ne kees gi tëj nañ ko daaj nañ ko dañ ko war a daaj.
Thank you. Yes.
So just for them not to say that I'm a coward hiding behind this man. First of all, not to the lawmakers, who guy called the Minister of Health, guy def Q&A, and see if there would be any possibility for impeachment.
Yeah, thank you. Any other question? Okay, you have a follow-up question?
Very well, yeah.
Okay.
I must love you for this organizing this press conference because it came at the right time. Infant mortality to a number of 69 as it stands today. Workers all to a state that we are like, wow, this is really happening. This is more like, this will go down in the history of our country that we've faced something that has challenged our health system. Seeing you tasking the Bar Association to call for justice, which is one of the key reference organizing this today, to these kids must be served justice. Aside from justice, what other things do we expect from you? If the government delivers justice, are we expecting you to go to the streets to use the radical approach to seeing that justice is served?
Okay. Thank you. The first question is looking at our relationship with the lawmakers to make sure that this impeachment is possible. That's the first question. On this, who is taking that one?
Go ahead, take it.
Let me take it.
I'm sorry. The reason why I asked that question, why the president by Mr. Samate. And it's like, this is not the first time Gambian Women's Life Matters came out, and they are saying the numbers of children and women that are dying in this country. And the president and his minister, again, standing in the political platform saying that they are a political organization. And we know, I'm part of Gambian Women's Life Matter. It was a problem in the US because they organized that, we registered that organization there. So, do my like to president, we want to give to the whole entire Gambia and the world. The Minister of Health, they are doing a wonderful job. For 66 babies dying in a serious nation, you cannot go there. That's a serious thing. That's a serious matter. For more than 66, this number they are giving us, how many is that 66 or that 66? Because it can be more than that because we have provinces in Ambulage and other places. So this minister, lawmakers, you want to ask me. You make on your hand, you want to organize, take them to table, like them, guy deaf, so definitely, we guy deaf, I mean, it's a possibility to equip them.
Yes, Thank you very much. I will start from with reference to yesterday when the minister was giving a statement and said these are as a result of some people in his ministry fighting him. And if that is so, and today we join that fight, that he have vindicated those people. And we are not rested. We will engage the lawmakers who are our representatives, and we want to believe they are hearing and seeing the Gambians as we are hearing and seeing the Gambians. And we submit our authority to them to be there for us. We are going to engage them to forward this matter. We're also going to engage the Gambia Bar Association and individual lawyers to see that together we mobilize and seek justice for these 66 plus beautiful souls. Yes, we are going to do that. What was the second question?
The second question is looking at the next step aside from justice. Do we have any other thing in mind?
Aside from justice,
yes.
Like he's saying, if justice is not served, are we going to take radical approaches? We are concerned, responsible citizens. We are going to exhaust every step, logical and necessary, and diplomatically before we go out in the streets. We are going to make sure we are going to engage every stakeholder. Unless they are not ready to be available to listen to the Gambian people, then we will resort otherwise. But as of now, we are going to engage them, we are going to talk diplomatically, and we are going to see how best we remedy the situation together. Until otherwise, we will think otherwise.
Thank you so much, I just want to answer the questions.
I think,
just to add on, okay, yes.
Just in addition to what next, I think there are mothers and fathers who have lost their sons and daughters. We will engage them because I'm sure at this moment they live in traumatic conditions. And this group is a shoulder to lie on. And we will go to them and ensure that the victim center is here. They are given some psychological, psychosocial support at least. They need counseling now. They need someone to talk to. They need someone to support them. And that's one area that we will venture as a group, because we are civil society and we have our different areas that we intervene. So that's another option. But there are many options on the table. To go radical, no, not yet, because we will invite the stakeholders as well, all stakeholders that we need to engage, even the government, because at the end of the day, we are in this together.
Thank you so much. Just what I wanted to add on as per the lawmakers. The message that I have for them is they need to see the country first. And know that the kid that died might be their own. So based on that, any judgment that they are to take have to be responsible and let them put the country first. We are going to engage them, and we will continue to engage all stakeholders to make sure that anyone who is found wanting within that cycle face justice, because these are Gambians that we have lost. Thank you so much. Any other question? We will take one last or two. We close because time is definitely running out.
Mine is not a question. I just want to ask.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Yes, what I want to say.
I'm not saying the light is like, yes, okay.
Yes, what I want to say is we emphasize on sharing the information because not everybody is privileged to information. And as we speak, it's very much possible that still Gambian children are taking this medication. I am from rural Gambia, precisely, and I know how some of these areas are. They hardly receive some of this information. So our innocent babies can be dying. And also to our National Assembly members. For me, I see this as a crisis. We cannot lose 66 children at the same time. It's alarming, and I expect them as responsible National Assembly members. They should be in their various constituencies at the moment to ensure that they spread the information. The syrup is not the only problem that we have. Do we know if there are other medications that people are still using, and it might bring other problems that we don't know? So I call on the government to ensure that they look at every medication that is coming into this country to ensure that we are safe. I personally, I don't feel safe in this country. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
I just want to add on to what the various speakers have been saying. I had a short conversation with Uncle Madi when I saw the press conference being announced on his Facebook page, and I did have a few questions. I am part of a group that was thinking of seeking a permit from the IGP so that we go on the street to show how outraged and how disappointed we are at our own government and the response of the president and his minister. That was disgusting. But when I had a conversation with him, he told me that I should come here and then we can have further discussions. We also have a plan to set up a GoFundMe because if you look at back in 2 years ago in Nigeria, there is a company in America called Pfizer. They did some medication in Nigeria and it affected some kids in Nigeria. Some were killed and maimed. And then the state of Kano did take a legal action against the company. They ended up paying millions of dollars to the affected families. So I was speaking to a friend of mine who is in Sweden, and his kid has, his child has taken the syrup. He's worried. He's a nurse. I'm also a volunteer of a medical organization called 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏𝒏𝒆𝒍 Foundation. We go around the country, give free medication. And it is a concern, everybody is concerned about what is going on now. So I'm just appealing, because the lady rightfully mentioned, we are going to exhaust all means. But until then, since we are not going to take to the streets, it's good that I came here. But the plan of going ahead to set up a GoFundMe in case the victims need a legal support so that they will be able to pay it. Because I'm happy that you called on the Bar Association and lawyers that are interested in this case. I'm sure we have lawyers that will be willing to render their services to the victims at no cost. But equally, I think we should go ahead with the GoFundMe, because I told 𝒂𝒂𝒏, I said, if we all work together under one umbrella, we will make an impact. If you look at my post, I made a post on Facebook. I said the reaction from the public has put pressure on the authorities, and it's just a matter of time they are going to break. So I'm just urging each and every citizen to continue putting pressure on the authorities, and let us look for all means to make sure justice is brought about for our kids, because we cannot continue like this.
Yeah, thank you so much for those initiatives. And as they said, let's continue the engagement. And the GoFundMe is a possibility, and because we are thinking about a lawsuit, litigation measures. So based on that, those are possibilities. We can continue the conversation as we said. We created a WhatsApp group. We are going to expand it as much as possible so that we have Gambians in it and we'll have conversations. If you have a radio, if you have a media house, you can invite. We will be there, because ordinary Gambians need to hear these messages. And Tala mentioned the fact that she is from the rural Gambia. These are places that are sometimes so remote to an extent that getting information is very difficult. If we can communicate in the local languages, let's communicate in Mandinka, Wolof, Fula, Jola, Serer, any language that you can communicate with for people to understand. Because if not, the lay person over there might not know. So on that note, I would like to thank each and every one of you for coming, and do have a blessed day. Thank you so much.